You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Topping our news tonight, the search continues for a man who robbed a hotel in Sarasota and attempted to rob another right down the road. It all happened early this morning at a pair of hotels on North Tamiami Trail. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live now with the latest details. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, the robbery took place at this Quality Inn. The suspect still remains at large tonight. Take a close look at this man. Sarasota police are asking for your help in finding him. Surveillance video captured him robbing the Quality Inn just after midnight Wednesday morning, and it also got him on video heading to the Days Inn just up the road for an attempted robbery.
What he did both times was implied that he had a firearm, and the clerk in the one where he got the money gave an undisclosed amount of cash, and he was able to get away. In the other one, he didn't get any cash.
This robbery has put other hotels in the area on high alert. Denise Powell works the front desk at the Super 8 Hotel just down the road from where this crime took place. She says this doesn't make her too nervous because her hotel is very proactive when it comes to security.
What we do is lock our doors, and if we're not comfortable opening a door for someone, we handle it through the window.
The suspect is described as a white male in his mid to late 50s, 5'8" to 5'9" tall, with a thin build, blue eyes, and light color hair. He was last seen wearing a gray hoodie, black shirt under the hoodie, long blue shorts, and black water shoes. Both the Quality Inn and the Days Inn would not come on camera to comment about this.
We absolutely want to get a suspect like this off the street. He implied that he had a firearm and used fear for these two clerks. We're just thankful that neither of the clerks were injured, but he did commit a crime, and so we're hoping to get him off the street as soon as possible.
And if you do recognize the suspect, you're being asked to contact Sarasota Police immediately. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Rick, for that update. A Bradenton woman has been sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for selling drugs to an undercover deputy. According to court documents, Siobhan Montgomery sold crack cocaine to an undercover deputy from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office on 2 separate occasions. In total, law enforcement found nearly 33 grams of fentanyl and heroin during this investigation. The Manatee County School District is trying to fire a bus driver that's been convicted of soliciting prostitution. 50-year-old Jerome Heaven was arrested in an undercover operation conducted by Bradenton police last year. Heaven was convicted by a jury in February, and a month later he is still employed by the district. But the district says he has not been around students since he was convicted. Instead, he's been washing dishes and doing desk work at the district support center. According to the district, school officials tried to fire him, but the Florida Division of Administrative Hearings overturned their decision, citing that the district did not have enough evidence to do so.
We have no details on the case. That's what will be presented to us. We're not allowed to discuss the case, what it's about, the merits of the case, until we are in the role of, in essence, a judiciary.
ABC7 spoke with Heaven today, and while he did not want to go on camera, he does say he's innocent and that the undercover officer approached him, not the other way around. He also says he never made any deal to exchange money for sex. The school board will hear both sides of this case during a special meeting on Friday. A new study by the Economic Policy Institute says it costs a Sarasota family just over $80,000 to live modestly, but the average annual wage on the Suncoast is only half of that. Don Hadsel with the Office of Housing and Community Development says affordable housing is a huge need in Sarasota County. Statistics show nearly 40% of renters in this community pay more than 30% of their income for rent. Hadsel blames the problem on the state of Florida, saying that legislators earmarked $3.7 million for Sarasota County housing, yet only gave less than $700,000.
Both the city and the county are in the process of putting together some strategic initiatives that will help to address the issue. We have an advisory committee that the city and the county have established that will be meeting again shortly.
That committee will be looking at alternative solutions starting in April. In just a few weeks, snowbirds are expected to start heading back north, which will have an impact on local businesses. Each year, more than 80,000 northerners flock to the Suncoast during the winter months. A Sarasota restaurant owner says when snowbirds leave after Easter, it creates a huge cut in business for his 2 restaurants.
I will say C'est la Vie, we drop like probably, like 30–40% of our sales during the summer, definitively. And Lolita, like I said, it's easy 50% that we lose on the sales.
The Sarasota Downtown Merchants Association says there is a 2-week dry period for businesses after snowbirds leave, but business picks back up before the summer months. And Sarasota has been nominated as one of the best Southern cities by Southern Living magazines. Readers of Southern Living magazine voted Sarasota number 9 on its list of the South's best cities. Sarasota did even better on the magazine's ranking of the South's prettiest cities, placing 5th on that list. In both cases, Sarasota was the top-ranked city in Florida. And of course, that comes as no surprise with weather like we had today. Let's check in with Wendy Ross for a look at our first alert forecast. Wendy?
Jacqueline, I agree with that report, don't you? I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous out there, and we're still looking at beautiful conditions right now. Sky conditions are just showing a few passing clouds, and that's about it. Our temperatures have not dropped off too severely. It's only 60 degrees out there right now, but just enough to be able to have to wear a jacket. Dew point humidity levels are low, and the winds, they're really coming down. They're out of the northwest right now at around 12 miles per hour. We have high pressure sitting on top of us at this hour. So our current conditions all across the area are showing fair skies with those temperatures ranging from 60 to 64 degrees. And as the evening progresses, that cold air is back. We get down into the 40s and 50s tonight. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Jacqueline.
Okay, thank you so much, Wendy. New at 11, Floridians will not have the opportunity to decide whether the state should ban semi-automatic weapons. This after the Constitution Revision Commission voted not to discuss gun debate proposals for the November ballot. Commissioner Roberto Martinez, a former federal prosecutor, proposed an amendment that mirrored gun restrictions imposed by a new Florida law, which raises the minimum age from 18 to 21 and imposed a 3-day waiting period to purchase long guns.
I want to make sure that to the extent that somebody seeks to challenge that law with regards to those provisions, that challenge would be defeated if the challenge is based upon a state constitutional challenge. Very straightforward.
While lawmakers passed age and waiting period restrictions, some commissioners feel that putting such measures in the Constitution would make them more permanent and harder to change. Since 2005, the number of babies born addicted to drugs has increased every single year here in Florida. And according to the Central Florida Behavioral Network, an opioid bill recently signed by Governor Rick Scott is a step in the right direction to help lower that number. More than $27 million will soon be going to the Department of Children and Families. The nonprofit organization provides substance abuse services on the Suncoast and has received more than $920,000 in funding this year to fight the epidemic in both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Also happening in Florida, a proposal to limit school board members to 8 years in office moving forward. The proposed constitutional amendment was favored by most of the Constitution Revision Commission, but there was still some disagreement on the benefits of those term limits.
I'm looking forward to the new crop of individuals that are going to walk through those doors in November and bring fresh ideas and new perspective. And I think it's a very important thing for our political process.
We shouldn't have term limits because if you mess up, they will get you out. They will limit your term. We don't need to do it. We need to let the people do it.
If approved, the measure will return to the full commission, where it must win support from at least 22 members to be placed on the November ballot. And Florida citrus farmers are still waiting for more than $2 billion from the federal government. President Trump signed the disaster relief package back in February. In the meantime, they'll have to rely on state funds approved by Governor Scott earlier this month. In a recent Wall Street Journal poll, women named Planned Parenthood a top source for political information in America. For more than 50 years, Planned Parenthood of Southwest and Central Florida have provided thousands of patients with services such as birth control, STI testing and treatment, cancer screenings, abortion, and other types of health care.
For over 100 years, women have trusted Planned Parenthood with their health care. And now we see in this recent poll, they also trust us as a place to get information about what's happening in politics and why their health care is being politicized.
The FBI was voted the top organization in the poll, Planned Parenthood coming in at second and Robert Mueller coming in at third. Here on the Suncoast, the Sarasota Film Festival has unveiled its 2018 lineup. Eric Stoltz's comedy Class Rank will be the opening night film, screening April 13th at the Sarasota Opera House. Rory Kennedy's Above and Beyond, NASA's Journey to Tomorrow will serve as the closing night film on April 21st. The festival will also honor Steve Guttenberg and Virginia Madsen with Career Achievement Awards. Guttenberg will be honored for starring in more than 60 films, while Madsen will be honored for her Oscar-nominated role in Alexander Payne's Sideways. The Sarasota Film Festival is set to run April 13th through the 22nd. Well, stay with us. Wendy Ross will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, Starbucks has a big announcement regarding gender equality. We have word from the CEO. And coming up in your consumer news, we'll show you some tips on how to repair your credit score.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The 2018 Sarasota County Fair is set to begin March 16th through 25th. This year, there'll be rides for everyone, thanks to Bell City Amusements. Experience your favorite entertainers, along with some new and exciting acts, like the Tiger Encounter, the Kachunga and Alligator Show, comedian ventriloquist Steve Brogan, plus our new and exciting SRQ Schools at its best. And remember, ride armbands all day, every day. The 2018 Sarasota County Fair, March 16th through 25th. See you there.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Wendy, some beautiful weather coming our way. We are done with those storms and we are looking forward to the next couple days.
You know, it's just very difficult to believe that this late in the month we are looking at temperatures that are going to get down into the 40s.
Oh, gosh.
That's probably going to happen tomorrow night. Tonight, east of I-75, we could see that taking place. And we also had a lot of wind that came in behind that cold front. You probably experienced it if you went out to the beach. This is what it looked like at the beach today. This is Casey Key, and you can see those waves were very, very strong. strong coming across the area. Lots of clear blue sky out there, but those waves really came crashing on shore. We have small craft advisories in effect. We are looking at those strong winds still taking place, but they're beginning to die down a little bit. That cold, dry air is going to be sitting on top of us for the next couple of days behind the front, and temperatures are going to run 8 to 12 degrees colder than they were just last night. So expect to feel the difference, and you may already be feeling it. Those winds, they're already beginning to die down as these pressure gradients begin to subside as well. We have the high pressure system over Texas. We have that low pressure system bringing about the next nor'easter. That's the fourth one in a month across the northeastern United States. But this high pressure system is going to become our fair weather friend over the next couple of days. So we're going to be very, very indebted to it for the very dry conditions that we're going to be experiencing across our region. And so we are looking at some of the snow and the rain and the icy conditions across the northeast here. We also have rain across the western part of the country. This is all being brought in by a cold front here with snow in the higher elevations. And then right here across the southeast, we've got that high pressure system dominating. A couple of clouds moving across, but for the most part, we are going to see clear skies tonight. And that dry air is sitting right on top of us. So this is all being brought in through the upper levels of the atmosphere. We're experiencing it, and those winds are coming in behind that front, mostly out of the northwest, and then they're going to shift around to the north, go back to the northwest during the morning hours, but we're eventually going to see them starting to shift around, and that will help to warm us up just in time for the weekend. But tonight we've got a little bit of cloud cover sitting on top of us, and then that dissipates and we'll be left with mostly clear skies for the rest of tonight. No rain is in our forecast. We're not going to see rain for a very long time. So what we have is those winds out of the northwest, and they're anywhere from 10 to 12 miles per hour, but along the beaches it's much higher, 21, 16, 14 mile per hour winds at the Keys. And then as we move on farther down the coastline, we're looking at those winds anywhere from 7 to 11 and 12 miles per hour on Venice, and a little bit less across the eastern sections east of I-75. Very chilly temperatures across the Great Lakes in the northeast and mostly the northern tier of the country, while we are nice and warm by comparison. And take a look at the snow. It's blanketing the northern tier of the nation. The northeast is expecting to see as much as 5 feet of snow with this next nor'easter that's coming along in pockets is what they'll see there. So in contrast to that, 68 degrees seems awfully good. 62 was our overnight low last night. Normally we're at 58. We're going to see about a 10-12 degree difference here along the coast and east of I-75. This morning we saw temperatures in the 60s to give you an idea of the difference. Tomorrow morning we're going to see temperatures that will be mostly in the 50s. So we'll see some 40s east of I-75 developing, and our current temperatures right now are already in the 50s east of I-75, and along the coast it is a little bit warmer. Tomorrow, expect to see those daytime highs back up in the mid-60s, and of course we are going to see plenty of sunshine around. So it's going to be beautiful, and this is what it looks like for the next 7 days. Breezy conditions throughout the morning hours on Thursday. Things begin to subside there. Notice that temperatures are going to stay in the 60s through Friday, and then take a look at this weekend. Oh my, 76 to 80 degrees. It doesn't get better than that. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you, Wendy. Looking forward to it. Police say the man responsible for the Austin bombings left a 25-minute video confessing to his crimes. Police have identified the Austin serial bombing suspect as 24-year-old Mark Anthony Condit. Condit killed himself when police, who had been stalking out his hotel, followed him onto Interstate 35 early this morning. They say as SWAT team members closed in on his car, he pulled into a ditch and detonated a bomb, blowing himself up. Police say they still do not have a clear motive for what drove Condit to do what he did. Well, 36,000 pounds of cocaine has been brought into the U.S. legally. That's because it's contraband that the Coast Guard has been seizing since early last month. The cocaine comes from 17 different busts by 5 Coast Guard cutters operating off the Pacific coasts of Central and South America. Authorities say the cocaine is worth about $500 million that will not go to drug lords. They estimate keeping it off the street will likely save hundreds of lives. Starbucks says it has successfully closed the gender gap in its U.S. stores. The coffee giant made the announcement today, saying it's worked hard for about a decade to achieve pay equality. The company adds that it will now tell its U.S. job candidates the pay range for any position as part of efforts to promote transparency.
And by being able to make that statement allows us to continue to attract the kinds of talent and the kinds of great people that help us build this brand.
Starbucks says it uses several tools to make sure there is no bias when it comes to pay. For example, the company regularly checks for compensation gaps among its workers, and it also does not ask candidates about their salary history and uses a calculator to determine starting pay based on experience. Well, if you want to make your credit score better, you might want to be careful. Scammers can not only steal your information, but may also turn you into a crook. Mary Maloney explains in today's Consumer Watch.
When trying to make a financial decision for the future, it's often financial decisions from the past that can trip you up. From buying a car to buying a home, lenders can see your decisions in a credit report, and some scammers see an opportunity. According to the Federal Trade Commission, there are few easy ways to spot a credit repair scam. First, if the company asks for payment before they render any services. Also, if they ask that you do not contact the credit reporting agencies directly. And if they suggest giving false information when applying for a mortgage or a loan. Another troubling trend among credit repair scammers, the promise of an entirely new credit identity, which can unwittingly land a consumer in trouble with the law. You can spot these scams when a service suggests abandoning a social security number as a primary source of identification, and instead using a new number they assign and call a CPN for credit privacy number or credit profile number. In many cases, these numbers are stolen social security numbers, often from children, which is why they have a clean credit slate. And that can turn a consumer into an unknowing identity thief, despite their good financial intentions. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Well, sports is coming up next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, Kimmel's Super Duper New.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
With the always game Charlie Day.
Deal.
Plus, all hail Henry Winkler.
Sit down.
And this happens. Whoa! Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call. Let us give you some peace of mind.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less. and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now, sports.
A former Tampa Bay Ray will now pitch for the Baltimore Orioles. A free agent Alex Cobb agreeing to a 4-year contract with the Birds. Cobb was the last big-name starting pitcher still available in a slow-moving free agent market. Cobb was 12-10 with a .366 ERA and 29 starts for Tampa Bay last season. He turned down Tampa Bay's $17.4 million qualifying offer back in November.
They used the AL East and the success that I've had in it to their advantage. You know, they kept challenging me with it, and I love the challenge of pitching in this division.
Baltimore will now lose its third highest draft pick, currently number 51, and the Rays get an extra selection after the first round as compensation. And there are 2 games happening on the Suncoast tomorrow, and true baseball fans can catch both of them. The Orioles host the Red Sox at Ed Smith Stadium starting at 1:05, and then the Pirates take on the Blue Jays at Lecom Park. That game starts at 6:05. NBC Sports Group has acquired the media rights to IndyCar racing beginning next season, which will move Indianapolis 500 to a new network for the first time in 53 years. IndyCar most recently had been split between ABC and NBC Sports. The 3-year deal includes 8 races on over-the-air network channels and extra digital content. That's a look at sports tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Spring has sprung, and that means it's time to get ready for Easter. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Our Fun Money Mom blogger is back with budget-friendly ways to create an amazing Easter basket. A young Venice magician enjoyed the national spotlight on America's Got Talent. Now he'll share his magic skills with us. Plus a Cirque du Voir preview, and hosted gourmet catering joins us in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, say hello to Patty, born the day before St. Patrick's Day. She's Busch Garden, Tampa Bay's new baby giraffe, and she is the third giraffe calf to be born at Busch Gardens in the last 4 months, and you'll be able to see her there very soon. And I think if I remember correctly, she was about 5 feet 5 inches tall. So
wow, isn't she
compared to a human?
Look
She's
at
so
her.
cute.
Oh my goodness, she's taller than some friends of
I
mine.
know, right?
So we are looking at a beautiful night tonight, and into the morning hours, you're going to be seeing temperature of about 51 degrees at 7, but by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 64 and sunny.
Awesome, love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Wendy, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.